Porto, also known as Oporto in some languages, is a city of many faces. From dark, foggy and gloomy, perfectly reflecting its nickname, Invicta, meaning invincible and never conquered, to cheerful, colourful and vibrant, through its iconic tiles, lively vintage tramcars and most importantly, enticing gourmet experiences. While the famous port wine bears Porto's name, it is actually produced in the beautiful Douro Valley about 90 kilometers away, and stored and aged in cellars on the other side of the Douro River, in Vila Nova de Gaia. Together with its neighbour, Gaia, Porto gave name to modern-day Portugal, evolving from Latin name, Portus Cale, to Portucale, and finally to Portugal. It will captivate all of your senses, so enjoy it slowly and indulgently.
Torre dos Clérigos.
Clérigos Tower is dominating the Porto skyline since the 18th century. This 75-meter-tall monument is a bell tower of Clérigos Church. It was completed in 1763 as the tallest building in Portugal, and still holds the title of Portugal's tallest bell tower, up to this day. You'll have to climb 225 stairs of a very narrow and cramped staircase to get to the top, which provides stunning, panoramic views over Porto and beyond. Besides the Dom Luís I Bridge, this monumental tower is often considered the symbol of Porto.
Francesinha.
Porto is a fantastic city for foodies, and the ultimate dish to try is undoubtedly the Francesinha. It's not for the faint of heart, but we'd definitely recommend this delicious and indulgent sandwich when visiting Porto. Literally translated as Little French Girl, it was created by Portuguese immigrants to France, who decided to create their own spin on the croque monsieur sandwich. It is made with 2 slices of white bread, layered inside with several different types of cured ham, sausage, steak or roast meat, topped with an egg, and covered with melted cheese, before being smothered in a beer and tomato sauce. A healthy serving of French fries on the side is a must. You can find it on every corner, but Café Santiago is one of the more known restaurants to experience this artery-blocking meal. And don't forget about a glass of Superboc to go with it, it's a must.
Cais da Ribeira.
Porto's riverside area is a picturesque piazza at the foot of the Douro River. This lively, buzzing area offers imposing views over the river and an assortment of colourful buildings layered casually up the hill. There are bars and restaurants around every corner, with street performers and flea markets often found along this riverside walk. You'll have a perfect shot of the iconic Dom Luís I Bridge from here, take a river cruise down the Douro, or cross the bridge across to the Vila Nova de Gaia waterfront. Whether visiting by day or night, the area is equally impressive, soaking in a bustling vibe during the day, or stopping by at night for a drink and appreciating the twinkling lights over the river.
Ponte de Dom Luís I.
After you've enjoyed a drink or a stroll on the Ribeira side of the river, you'll want to cross this iconic landmark that connects the Ribeira area to Porto Gaia on the opposite side. Dom Luís I Bridge is a twin-level arch bridge designed by the German engineer and business associate of Gustav Eiffel, Theophile Seyrig. It was completed in 1886, after Seyrig actually beat Eiffel himself in the competition to build the bridge. The top level carries metro trains and has a walkway for pedestrians, while the lower level carries road traffic and has a sidewalk that you can use to cross over to the other side of the Douro River. It provides for a completely different perspective of the city, especially the view from up top is simply spectacular.
Porto Gaia.
While on this side of the river, you might as well visit a port house or two for a port wine tour and tasting experience to learn more about this wonderful fortified wine. As much as Porto Gaia Riverfront is known as the home of the various port wine houses, there is plenty more to see and do on this side of the river. With its long, broad promenade and riverfront aspect, Vila Nova de Gaia is a compelling diversion. The riverside is full of stylish restaurants, bars, and cafes. Many Douro River cruise boats also depart from here. The fleet of traditional sailing vessels, barkschrabjelsch, are docked alongside the promenade, once used to transport barrels from the Douro winery estates, adding a wonderfully nostalgic atmosphere. Head to the Jardim do Moro, or fortress-like monastery of Serra do Pilar, for the incredible views over the river and Porto's skyline from a new angle. Or maybe take a ride on the Teleférico de Gaia cable car, for a truly dramatic outlook. Port wine tasting. Port wine tasting is one of the things you definitely must do while visiting Porto. Conveniently located across the river in Vila Nova de Gaia, you'll find a selection of all the top port wine houses, such as Taylor's, Sandeman, Porto Cruz, Graham's, Calum, and many more. Port wine is a fortified Portuguese wine that is exclusively produced in the Douro Valley region of northern Portugal. There are various varieties of port wine, most notably tawny, ruby and white, with the latest edition rosé. After a long day, our suggestion is to also try a port tonic, white port wine and tonic, in any of the cozy bars on both sides of the river.
A quick bonus tip.
There is something special about the food in Porto, its location on the Douro River, proximity to the wine region, and of course, the port wines. There's a little something for everyone. The trendy restaurants are typically small, which is likely the reason every dish is so carefully prepared. Treat yourself with an exceptional food that Porto is offering, with a glass of wine on the side. And a little tip, make a reservation in advance, as popular places get really crowded at dinner time, especially on the weekends.
Livraria Lello.
This tiny, Harry Potter-inspiring bookstore in the center of Porto was founded in 1881 and has now attracted worldwide fame, with its neo-Gothic exterior, intricately carved Gothic wood paneling, and a central staircase that is believed was the inspiration behind the magic, spiraling staircase of Hogwarts, after J.K. Rowling spent 2 years living in Porto, teaching English. With such a claim to fame, today, you have to pay to get in, and the queue can get really long. But the entrance fee will be deducted if you decide to buy a book. It is still an operational bookstore after all.
Pastel de Nata.
When in Portugal, you simply can't miss the opportunity to taste this famous pastry. Perfectly crisp, flaky, puff pastry tarts, filled with the creamiest egg custard, and powdered with cinnamon, they are undeniably heavenly and incredibly addictive. Created more than 300 years ago, by Catholic monks at the monastery in the Belém district of Lisbon, as a way of using leftover egg yolks. In the absence of laundry detergent, the egg whites were used to starch the cloves. Known also as Pastel de Belém, these delicious little things are available at literally any pasteleria in the country. In Porto, two of the best places to try the famous delight are Manteigaria and Fábrica de Nata. It's best to eat it warm, freshly baked, with a cup of coffee on the side. Enjoy!
Estação ferroviária de São Bento.
It's worth stopping by the São Bento Central Station in the heart of the city, even if you're not catching any train. The walls of the grand entrance hall are covered with some 20,000 azulejos, traditional ceramic tiles, depicting Porto's and Portugal's history in stunning beauty. The story of its royalty, various battles, and transportation play out across the beautifully painted blue and white tiles.
Igreja do Carmo.
A little younger than other Porto's Baroque churches, the Carmo church features Rococo architecture from the 1750s and 60s. This recent Instagram sensation dazzles the crowds with its side facade on Carlos Alberto Square. With exception of the stonework trimming, the windows and ground, this wall is covered entirely with blue and white tiles, azulejos. These tiles form one large image, revealing the origins of the Carmelite order and Mount Carmel in Israel. Making it even more interesting is the fact it is connected to the Church of the Carmelites on the left, separated by a narrow, 1-meter wide house in the middle. Beautiful, charming, and colorfully authentic, Porto will not leave you indifferent. It offers so much, we feel we have to give some honorable mentions as well. Famous historic market, Mercado do Bolao, is currently undergoing restoration, and can be temporarily found in a shopping center close by. Treating yourself to a coffee in the Art Nouveau Marvel, Majestic Cafe, is a distinctive experience. Taking a ride with historic tramcars will take you past the City Hall, dazzling Church of St. Ildefonso and Chapel of Souls, while the Gandé funicular will carry you between both levels of Louis I Bridge. And let's not forget Porto is actually a port town, so a trip to a beach is surely inevitable. But don't just take our word for it, come and see for yourself.